Good morning, everyone. You're looking good. Man, do we have a lot of talent to my left. We have a twofer for the price of one. You know both these ladies, and this is ridiculous music today. This is so good. I'm excited to play with Snow Barnes and Kim Fuller Barnes.
He's my hope for tomorrow. He's my rock in a weary land, my shelter in the time of storm. God is my everything. God is my everything. God is my everything. He's my joy in sorrow. He's my hope for tomorrow. He's my rock in a weary land, my shelter in the time of storm. God is my everything. Put your hands together, come on. God is my everything. God is my everything. He's my joy in sorrow. He's my hope for tomorrow. He's my rock in a weary land, my shelter in a time of storm. God is my everything. My everything. My everything, my everything. The Lord's my God, my everything. He is my friend, my everything. He is my shelter,
everything.
my everything.
He's my everything.
He's my everything.
My everything.
He is my joy,
My everything.
in the time of sorrow.
My everything.
He's my everything.
My everything.
My everything.
He's my everything.
God is my everything. God is my everything. He's my joy in sorrow. He's my hope for tomorrow. He's my rock in a weary land, my shelter in a time of storm. God is my everything.
Thank you, Kim Fuller and Snow Barnes. What a dynamic duo, right? If that didn't wake you up and stir your soul, nothing will. That's a great beginning to our service. Thank you both. And thank you, Steve, for all you do. So welcome, everyone. Those of you in the sanctuary and those of you out in the world, we so appreciate your being with us this morning. We know you had many choices for your Sunday morning, and we're honored that you decided to spend it with us or whenever it is that you're watching the service, if you're watching online. So if we haven't met, I'm Reverend Jan Mourning. It is my honor to be minister here at First Unity Church of St. Louis, and I want to give a special welcome to any of our first-time guests. Just know that we are an unapologetically inclusive spiritual community, which simply means whoever you are, wherever you are in your life or in your spiritual journey, you are unequivocally welcome here. And you should find in the pew in front of you guest information cards. They're yellow. And if you would fill one out, if you'd like to fill one out, we do not harass people, so we won't harass you in any way, I promise. But if you would like to receive a year's subscription to our Daily Word magazine, we would be happy to make that happen. And if you turn your card over on the back and just mark that, we will make that happen. And if you're watching online and you'd like a year's subscription, we give you the same offer. Just hit our unitstl.org website in the Contact Us section. If you're in need of prayer, if you'd like prayer for anything on your heart, we have a highly trained prayer chaplain, Hope Dotson, who will pray with you in a few moments. And then if you're watching online, hit the need prayer section, and we will hold you in prayer for 30 days. We're all about prayer here at First Unity. So I want to highlight just a few upcoming events, and these are also available on our website, Facebook page, and in the newsletter. First of all, our Unity Kids are sponsoring a back-to-school drive. It goes through August 10th, and at the end of service, they will be standing, a few of them will be standing at the door, handing you slips of paper to tell you what are really needed. I'm a former teacher, and I wouldn't know what it means for kids to have the right supplies on the first day, so it's a very important fun drive. And then today, after service, the hospitality ministry will meet. That's chaired by Linda Haar, who's in the back. Linda, would you wave to everybody? This is a really important ministry. It's a ministry that helps us plan our fun and fundraising activities, both of which we need. And so if you just have any ideas and even would like to join this ministry on a short-term basis, just come and be with us with ideas for increasing income and also just bringing the community together. We would just love to have you join us today. And Linda's back there. If you want to talk to her after service, she will tell you all about it. That meets at noon in the adult classroom. Also, later this week, the Quilters and Crafters meet on Thursday from 10:30 in the morning till 3 p.m. And I think the rest of the July announcements are on the screen. So one more important announcement. If you received a blue slip today, hold yours up, Hope. I forgot to bring one up. Looks like that. According to our bylaws, which are aligned with Unity Worldwide Ministry bylaws, we are supposed to get an accurate accounting of who our members are, like every so many years. And so we're a little bit past. Our board made a vote, and they were in line to do that, to postpone it a little bit till we could tell who all was coming back after COVID, but it's time. So you have two choices. You can fill out the form. There's a black and white box in the lobby with a form in front of it. Just stick it in there. Or if you would prefer, you can just simply scan the QR code, take a picture of it with your phone. It will take you right to the information, and you can fill it in online. And from this, we're also going to have a new online directory, and we'll print, that's a good thing, and we will print copies for anybody who needs it, who is not online. So that's what that's all about, and I want to thank many thanks to board members Carol Ellerman and Valerie Harris for working through all the technology on this and making this happen. Thank you all very much. And last but not least, I think we have some guests from Unity Christ Church. If you're from Unity Christ, would you raise your hand? Welcome. We welcome you. So good to have you. Yes. We always hold you in prayer, and we just received a check from Unity Christ for our Tornado Fund Drive for $500. So thank you for that. That's great. That's great. So now, if you are ready and willing to stand for our first community song, it is Love Is My Decision by Daniel Nahmad, led by Chuck Seeger and accompanied by Steve. Thank you both.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give of my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on the bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down the road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten the load. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision right here and now. My decision right here and now.
Sorry about that. Good morning, everyone. I'm Hope Dodson. Today, I am your chaplain for the day, and after service, I'll be over by this window for any prayer needs you may have. And as always, all prayers are kept in strictest confidence. So today's daily word is courage, and the affirmation is, God within me is the source of my courage. Let's say that together. God within me is the source of my courage. Worrisome and challenging events may leave me thinking I don't have the courage to face them. What I'm going through may feel like too much to bear. Then I remind myself that as a divine being, I have all the courage I could ever need. How I view myself has a strong bearing on how I handle moments of stress. If I tell myself I'm weak or unable to cope, that will probably be my experience. But if I affirm that God within is my power to rise above any worldly situation, I will feel courageous, empowered, and strong. Stressful moments may leave me feeling alone and afraid. With the presence and power of God within me, I realize I'm never alone and need not fear. This is the source of my courage. And from Joshua 1:9, I hereby command you, be strong and courageous. Do not be frightened or dismayed, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. So let's take a moment to pray as we take that centering breath, breathing in that peace and courage of the divine, illuminating that which is already within us in every moment to bring us courage, peace, and guidance. And so it is. Amen.
You are here, moving in our midst. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, working in this place. I worship you. I worship you.
You are here, turning lives around. I worship you. I worship you. You are here, mending every heart. I worship you. I worship you. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness.
My God,
That is who you are. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness.
my God,
That is who you are.
you are here, touching every heart. We worship you. We worship you.
You are here, turning lives around. We worship you. We worship you. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness.
My God,
That is who you are. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness.
my God,
That is who you are. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness.
my God,
That is who you are. Yeah, 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 yeah. Waymaker, miracle worker, promise keeper, light in the darkness.
my God,
That is who you are.
Thank you both. That was absolutely beautiful. So at bedtime, young Alice said to her mom, "Mom, could I have a few more minutes before I go to sleep? I actually have something very important I need to think about." Well, being a good mom, not thinking it was just a vie for more time awake, right? The mom said to her, "Well, sure, sweetheart. Take your time and come back in when you're finished." So a few minutes later, she walked back into the bedroom, and her mom was tucking her in. She said, "Honey, what was so important that you needed that time to think?" And she said, "Well, I was thinking about gravity. And I decided that gravity is God at the center of the earth, holding those people right side up when the world is upside down." Isn't that a sweet story? And so currently, with all going on in the world, I mean, we see ongoing wars, political discord, violence in our streets. We might think sometimes that our world is upside down, in chaos. But actually, metaphysicians see chaos slightly differently. A unity text called The Creative Process reads, "We begin by acknowledging and accepting the presence of chaos, the darkness in our experiences. Our choice is to affirm that in the chaos, God and good are present." So chaos does not necessarily mean a disorderly mess. We can actually use life's chaos and darkest moments to break up our crystallized thinking and break open infinite possibilities. There is no place we can ever be that God is not. And when we hold on to that truth, we just know that we absolutely can get through anything. We had a chaplain years ago, I loved her, and she always said, God is in the muck. I love that. And that she didn't mean that the perfect divine energy we call God is mucky. She didn't mean that, or that he caused our problems. However, she meant that presence is always surrounding and enfolding us. There is nothing in this life, nothing that we need to face alone, and the powers within us are greater than the powers in the world. So the past few weeks, if you've been with us, we've been exploring the 12 powers, those innate spiritual gifts that we can activate in order to express our true Christ nature in the midst of any outward challenge. The powers are actually all expressions of the one presence in one power, and they all work together as we activate them, as we call them forth. UD co-founder Charles Fillmore identified a disciple to represent each power. Many of you know this. And then later, colors were added by Reverend Joel Baer, who was a former art teacher. Our main sources today are Charles Fillmore's original book, published in 1930, believe it or not, and 3 more current sources, Your God-Given Potential by Winifred Hausman, Power Up by Paul Hesselbeck, and Divine Audacity by Linda Martello Whitsitt. Last week, we explored the power of wisdom, the highest form of spiritual knowing, that inner knowing that comes to us and through us. And we said it works best with the power of love. Together, they yield the best decisions. So today, we turn to the power of order, which Linda Martello Whitsitt says is the power to organize, adjust, and evolve. Charles Fillmore calls order the first power of the universe, saying, "Indeed, there could be no universe unless its various parts were kept in perfect harmony. Consider the sun rises and sets. Spring follows winter. The night sky sparkles with beautiful constellations in perfect patterns. The acorn drops and an oak tree begins to grow. All growth occurs in perfect sequence because of the laws of nature. Order is the foundation for all life." Now, Reverend Linda Martello Whitsitt writes, "Order is the architecture of the universe. Everything from the spiral of a nautilus to a hexagonal honeycomb, from infinity lines to ever-expanding circles, displays orderliness that dazzles scientists and theologians alike. The order of the natural realm is a manifestation of spiritual order and divine intelligence, and that underlies all of life." So in her book, God-Given Potential, Reverend Winifred Hausman asks a compelling question. The question is, why is it that humankind, considered to be the highest form of life, seems to have so much difficulty establishing harmony and orderly growth, while the plants, animals, and birds go right along living as they are intended to live? Anybody have an answer for that? It's true, though, isn't it? Actually, Winifred Hausman's answer is exactly the same as Charles Fillmore's. This is just in more modern language. She says, while all life forms have built-in intelligence that helps them adjust to their environment, we humans are also given freedom of choice. You know that pesky little concept called free will, right? We have choices. We are free agents with the ability to consciously choose our paths, make decisions, and determine the direction of our lives. In activating our power of order, we put ourselves in tune with God ideas, and we attract ourselves to right relationships, fulfilling experiences, and here's the good one, all the time to do what is ours to do. So remember, many of you have seen this many times, but as spiritual beings having a human experience, we dwell in 2 realms simultaneously. The absolute realm is the unchanging realm of divine principle, the total of all ideas, divine ideas in their purity and power, what Jesus referred to as the kingdom of heaven within. Also, we dwell in the relative realm, that constantly changing outer world of temporary appearances where guess what? Things can go awry. Has anybody ever noticed that? You know, we don't have any promises that everything's going to be perfect on this plane of existence. However, we do have a more important promise. We can choose and turn to angst and worry and fear, or we can choose to turn our pivotal souls to the absolute power and bring forth all of our spiritual powers: order, love, faith, wisdom, and all the rest. Eric Butterworth says, no matter how real or frightening a situation may seem, it is just a transitory thing. It is temporary. Only the good is real and lasting. So the disciple who represents order is James. It's James, son of Alphaeus. He quietly cooperated with the other disciples in a process of orderly, steady growth. James in the Greek meant supplanter, like to replace a person or thing, and Alphaeus meant spiritual man. So James represents replacing error thoughts with spiritual truths. The energy center is behind the navel, where a complex nerve system establishes order in the body, and the color, you've probably guessed, is emerald green. So like all the powers, order operates at 3 levels: physical, mental, and spiritual. So whether we're planning a party or sending an email or painting a room, order expedites the process. At the physical level, order works with strength to determine the way we organize and sequence objects and events. We might, for example, clean out a room or closet, or we might wish to have healing. Mentally, order works to create patterns and plans. Just think about all the planning that went into our 100th anniversary last September. We planned for a year and everything just went off beautifully, and that's what happens when you are in order. We can also use the power of order to organize our day and accomplish goals. If we fail to adequately activate this power, it can result in being unorganized, scattered, or messy. I will never forget my son's early days, teenage days. His room was such a mess that whenever we had guests, I had to go close the door and wished it had a lock on it that they couldn't open. So in our human skins, we can also overdevelop order, and become obsessive about it. True story, I once was in a school and I walked through the halls and there was a teacher leading 3 little boys behind her, and she kept turning around saying, "Get in line, get in a straight line. I want to see a straight line." And one of the little boys whispered to the other, "Why in the world do we need to be in a straight line? This hallway is wide and there are only 3 of us." I would say that he had the right idea. He had a good point. So spiritually now, we're going to go to the spiritual level. The power of order is the outgrowth of complete agreement and cooperation with spiritual law. This means in the face of any relative challenge, we can align in absolute truth. I remember the morning that my late husband, or the day that my late husband was diagnosed with cancer. In the midst of shock and fear, I could hardly take a breath. The words just came to me as if they were on a sign on the highway. "Jan, it's time to live the truth you know." And when we can do that, we can navigate our life challenges so much better. Jesus told us, "You shall know the truth, and the truth will" what? Set you free. The truth will set you free. Free from seeing that outer reality as the only thing that exists. Free from the past. Free from the tyranny of others' thoughts and opinions. Charles Fillmore tells us we can never be free until we know who and what we are. So Paul Hesselbeck writes in Power Up that we often confuse the power of order with divine order. Unity people have a habit of going around saying, "Oh, it's all in divine order." If something goes the way we want or if something doesn't, it's all in divine order. Either way, that phrase seems to imply like a predestined plan, a blueprint for our lives. And this would mean that we do not have free will, and it would also mean that we are in no way responsible for what happens to us. That somehow there's a separate, maybe we'd call it puppeteer deity up in the sky, imposing rewards and punishments and keeping us all on the right path. So misuse of the word divine order, and we all do it, has been called the New Thought version of "it's God's will." Actually, divine will for us is always ever unfolding, ever evolving goodness. That's God's will for us. So divine order really means that everything happens in an orderly operation of universal laws. Charles Fillmore defines divine order as the law of mind, idea, expression. It's a point of power where we can turn to the absolute realm and co-create with that perfect energy of spirit. Our minds are one with divine idea. We hold a divine idea in mind. It might be like cleaning out a closet or experiencing healing. And then we envision it. We see it with our power of imagination. We feel the emotion around it, and we live in divine expectation of its manifestation. Linda Martella Whitsitt writes, God is not some superhuman being imposing order on us. God is order, the organizing principle that underlies all of life. One with the intelligence of divine mind, we embrace divine ideas and we bring them into expression in our lives. Now, one aspect of the power of order is organization, to organize our lives. We can observe the organizing principle in nature for clues about this. My husband and I used to love to sit on our deck in the spring, watching as all the trees behind us came to full bud, where eventually we couldn't see the house behind us, and we knew that that meant it was summer. That was our point of summer. And the same alignment is evident throughout the world and in our own human consciousness. It's there. We just have to call it forth. When poet Robert Frost was asked the secret of how he could possibly be so upbeat about everything, he said, "Every morning I rise and make it a practice to do two things. First, I make my bed. Secondly, I make up my mind. Just as I smooth out the wrinkles in the covers, I imagine getting the wrinkles out of my head and my thoughts in order. Then, with my mind made up, I face whatever the day has in store. Nothing can disturb this peace of my soul. Nothing." So too often, what we give our minds for breakfast is a review of all the horrible things going on in the world, isn't it? I mean, it's there every single morning. We get sucked into believing that everything is out of order and we are powerless. But despite life's sadness, grief, and pain, we can lift our minds to higher truths and be guided to spiritual right thinking and action. It is our divine inheritance to do so. A second feature of order is to adjust. Just as our bodies adjust to optimal conditions for healing, we also have the power to adjust our activities. The power of order is sometimes called balance. Now, I fully admit that many times in my life I have struggled with balance. Balance between work and family, stillness and activity, between being and doing. But wise teachers have helped me understand, finally, that it's impossible to remain perpetually balanced. Think of a seesaw. What happens if it's perpetually balanced? Nobody goes anywhere. Nobody moves. Linda Martella Whitsitt says, our daily schedules are not a balancing act, but they're more like a juggling act. But it's a juggling wherein only one ball at a time can be held in the hand. We have to establish our priorities. Through our order of wisdom, through our power of order, along with wisdom, we know what is ours to do or not to do moment by moment. So in this consciousness, we are able to put first things first, one of Stephen Covey's 7 habits. Long before Covey, Goethe said, things which matter must never be at the mercy to things that matter least. Things that matter most can never be at the mercy of things that matter least. True story, I had a neighbor, his name was Sam, and he spent most of his non-working hours in his yard. And I mean to tell you, he planted, he weeded, he seeded, he did everything imaginable to a yard. And his yard looked a little bit like a tiny piece of botanical gardens. It was beautiful. However, his 7 children were not allowed to set foot in the yard because he didn't want his masterpiece messed up by footprints. So they played all over the neighborhood and everybody else's yard, including mine. We didn't care, okay? But the point is, he was just so dogmatic, and if he wasn't working in his garden, he was sitting on his front porch, drinking beer, screaming at anybody who walked past to keep their dogs and children out of his yard. I mean, it was a very interesting situation. Every single Sunday morning, without fail, he got his kids up to go to early church. So he would be in the car would be running, and he would scream at the top of his lungs, "Get your blankety-blanket rear ends down here." And that's not exactly what he said. He said worse. "Get your ears down here, or you will regret that you were ever born if you don't get down here this second." My neighbor used to say that he spent more time caring for his yard than he did for his children. The point is, we all get to choose our priorities. And sometimes I think we'd all agree we choose them wrongly. Jesus said, seek first the kingdom of God. When we put God first, turning to Christ consciousness, all the rest falls into place. So what really matters? What really matters? Love matters. Our own soul's growth matters. Recognizing the Christ in all humankind matters. And looking for the good matters. Those are some priorities I think we need to have. Our ability to adjust is a spiritual resource that gives us an affirmative look on life. Charles Fillmore said, activating our power to adjust, we literally change our energy, shift our awareness, uplift our attitude, and transform our lives. And finally, the third aspect of order is to evolve. Just as there is in nature a constant urge to grow, to increase and improve, there's also a constant urge in humankind to grow and unfold spiritually, to be never less than we were created to be. This is not an instant waffle process. It is a lifetime process. It doesn't happen overnight. Jesus tells us in Mark 4:28, the earth produces of itself first the stalk, then the ear, then the full grain in the ear. Here Jesus is talking about the orderly growth of our God-given potential. We often start our study in an intellectual way, represented by the stalk, the beginning of growth. And then as spiritual ideas develop in our minds, we come to that point representing the ripening grain in the ear. Finally, the ear is full as we claim the presence of Spirit, living through our whole being, the realization that we are one. We are one with harmonious, continuous, forward movement of the universe. Our spiritual growth, as with all growth, is a process rooted in order. And so one of my favorite quotes that you've seen before by New Thought minister Michael Beckwith, there is a vibratory frequency with every turn of the earth. If you are the same as you were 360 days ago, you didn't stand still, you went backward. You are constantly unfolding so that you can reveal the majesty and power of God. Every single one of us is God expressing. We are agents of order, wholeness, love, and strength. Maybe little Alice was right after all. Maybe the perfect divine energy we call God is the force that keeps us right side up when the world seems upside down. Now is the time, now is the moment for us all to align in the one presence and one power and know that our lives are truly in order, and so it is. So we take a moment now to turn to the God that makes all this possible. This is being affirmed in Unity churches all over the globe. Will you join me? There is only one presence and one power in the universe and at work in my life. God, the good, omnipotent, and so it is.
When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper, my heart go deeper into my God. When I pray, I feel my heart go deeper into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my love go. My love to my God.
And so now I invite you to close your outer eyes if you have not already done so. Just become comfortable in your seat. Allow your body to relax and your mind to clear. Take a deep restorative breath, breathing into that inner sanctuary of your own soul. And as you exhale, just let go of anything that is keeping you from being fully present to this sacred moment. Breathing in, breathing out. Know that every breath is holy, every breath is divine, every breath takes you deeper into your God. And so as you continue feeling your breath return to normal, be willing to shift your awareness from the limited, changing outer world to the unchanging, absolute realm of divine ideas. In this consciousness, I invite you to take into your heart and soul the words of Unity co-founder Myrtle Fillmore, adapted from her book, How to Let God Help You. God not only created the earth, but us, and the perfect divine energy that we are, and the very essence of all we see around us, and all that is within us. As free agents, we must learn to claim and combine divine ideas into our souls and bodies. It isn't that we are doing something by ourselves and occasionally asking Spirit outside of ourselves for help. In reality, God, Spirit, Divine Mind is working through us. We are God's expression on this earth. And so when you truly go to the Christ within, instead of your own human thoughts, you will receive whatever it is you need. When you drop thoughts of outer conditions and center your attention in spirit, giving thanks that God is expressing and manifesting everywhere in the universe, then, only then, will you dissolve old error beliefs. Just rest your mind, heart, body, and emotions in God-mind, and you will build a new world of order, peace, joy, and wholeness according to the direction of Christ ideas. So now I invite you to turn your attention to that amazing order, power of order, just in your body temple. Every cell, every organ, every nerve is organized for wholeness, vitality, and energy. Take a moment to focus on your center of the power of order behind the navel. Visualize a verdant green light enveloping your entire body. Now bring into this light any worry or problem in your life, and just see it begin to dissolve as you align in divine ideas. In the place of resentment, draw upon love and peace. In the place of discord, hold on to harmony. In the place of illness, know your wholeness. In the place of divisiveness, visualize oneness. In the face of limitation, embrace abundance. Visualize perfect divine ideas manifesting in your life. See your life express according to the law of divine order, mind, idea, expression. See this, believe this, feel this. Know the intelligence of the universe is expressing through you now. Do this for a few moments in the silence. And so now we come back together, whether you're in this sanctuary or out in the world, we come back together as a greater spiritual community to support one another and to know that we are here to be all that we are created to be. By seeing the Christ in ourselves and all others, we not only strengthen our spiritual consciousness, but we help others realize and express their innate divinity. We are so grateful, and so it is, and so we joyfully allow it to be in and through the power of the Christ. We say thank you, sweet Spirit. Amen.
This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. So I see you're eager today. So you know, when we leave out of here, we want to send you home with a happy spirit and just so happy about how wonderful the Lord is. So we want you to stand on up, put those hands together. We chose one that we know you know. Okay? So we're going to really get into it and do it, okay? You ready? But this is what we're going to do. We're going to put a little soul in it. We're going to go. I want you to do that. You got it? This little light of mine, everybody, I'm gonna let it shine. Put those hands together. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Come on, Snow. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go,
I'm gonna let it shine.
everywhere I go,
I'm gonna let it shine.
let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. This little light of mine,
I'm gonna let it shine.
this little light of mine,
I'm gonna let it shine.
this little light of mine.
I'm gonna let it shine.
Let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. One more time. Everywhere I go,
I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, everywhere I
go.
I'm gonna let it shine.
Everywhere I go,
I'm gonna let it shine.
let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine. Woo!
When Kim Fuller's in the house, you don't sit down during the music, right? Great, great music. Thank you both. Just wonderful. Oh, gosh. A dynamic duo for sure, for sure. So we just are so grateful for our musicians and for Steve for bringing us such amazing people every single week. And now it's that time in our service where we get to pause and just give thanks for our many blessings. We appreciate your financial donations because we need them to keep the doors open and to keep reaching out and enriching more and more lives. For those of you in the house, there's a box in the back for tithes and offerings. Streamers, we also want to thank you who are giving. Everyone, contributions can be made by Apple Pay, Google Pay, or PayPal. Just hit the donate button on our unitystl.org website or on our YouTube channel. Knowing we are one with divine source, will you please join me in our prosperity prayer? Together, divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. We affirm that God is our source, and we are grateful for prosperity in our personal lives and in our spiritual community. So now I'd like to invite everyone to stand, if you're willing and able, for our prayer for protection. This is the version that affirms the goodness of God and our own divine identity. Together, the light of God surrounds us. We are the light. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love. The power of God protects us. We are the power. The presence of God indwells over us. The presence indwells us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Please remain standing. Thank you all for being here today. We look forward to seeing you again next week. As a vibrant and inclusive spiritual community, we come together to express godness and goodness in the world. And so our service will end today with our final song, an old Unity favorite, Let's Be, and Chuck Seeger is going to lead us, and thank you, Steve, for accompanying. Thank you both. And don't forget, 12 o'clock, hospitality ministry in the adult classroom. And everybody come down for coffee and conversation afterwards, okay?
Let's be what we're made to be. Isn't this our destiny? Let's get started now today. Upward on our way. Let's be what we really are. Seek and find our inner star. Let's go forward in the light, faces shining bright. One with God, unlimited are we. Let us prove the truth that sets us free. Let's accept our highest good, knowing we're in brotherhood. Now the good in all we see. Let's don't wait, let's be.
I'm praying God come and turn this thing around. God turn it around. God turn it around. God turn it around. I'm calling on the name that changes everything, yes. God turn it around. God turn it around.